Welcome back. Our next guest is the 2019 Mother of the Year for the state of New York. She's changed the face of financial literacy through writing and implementing a finance curriculum in hundreds of schools nationwide. We welcome award-winning author and founder of Kids Who Bank and Kidpreneur Awards Gala, Jatali Bellanton. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
are definitely a mom who's making it work.
Man,
I love it.
mompreneur. I'm excited to be in this space and part of that sorority of motherhood.
Yes, yes, and I love it. I love seeing a mom who is able to share her gifts with everyone and who's like openly like just showing us your passion. So let's talk about Kids Who Bank. What is it and how are you changing the face of financial literacy?
So Kids Who Bank started off as a youth financial literacy initiative, which was just really about wanting to have our youth make better and sound decisions when it comes to their relationship with money and the finances, period, compared to a lot of us adults, right? And then as we started to go into the school systems, we actually realized a lot of adults were really struggling with it. And although I thought there were a lot of adult programs or programs catering to adults, I realized that a lot of them didn't really teach it from the simplicity of the child's view, right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of us sometimes need, right?
We still need it. I know I needed it.
Right? So it's interesting because someone called Kids Who Bank, finance for dummies, right? Like our own version of finance for dummies. And I was just like, I wouldn't use that word, but, but it really started with one child going home with our APR and compound interest sheet. And then when they went home with it, the mom was like, called me up and said, this is the first time I ever understood APRs and compound interest and what it meant to have a 24% APR.
And I think that's what's making it great is that you're simplifying it, not just for the kids, but we need it simplified as well.
Yes.
Because I didn't know anything about APR. When I was getting my first credit card in college, I had no idea what it was about.
And we're still seeing those same issues years later, right? So this year we did 15 colleges. And when we went into those colleges, a lot of the sophomores already had debt from their first year of college, receiving a card as a freshman, not knowing that their high APR would equate, if they're making minimum payments, X, Y, and Z. And so then they would say, oh, I know, I'm making my minimum payments. And then we would come in and we elaborate and we go, minimum payments, at the end of it, you're basically doubling what you're paying the company.
Right.
So instead of $5,000 back, you're paying them maybe $10,000, $9,000 back.
Money that could have went into a mutual fund or money,
savings
account.
or purchasing something that you actually do want to purchase. So it's really just rewiring our brain when it comes to our discussions when it comes around finance.
So let's talk about this wonderful book that you have here.
Yes.
I love the cover.
Thank you. So Wants versus Needs was actually the catalyst of it all. When I left the corporate world after 13 and a half years, because I became a mother, I wanted to be a hands-on mom. And I wrote this book. That was my first step. And then someone read the book and said, you should turn this into a curriculum. And then before I knew it, we were going into our first 137 schools.
That's
and
amazing.
then year 2, which was this year, we did 217 schools nationwide, plus the UK, and a class in Australia, and the list continues, and we're just growing. But it's been really exciting, and the book really tackles concepts like depreciation, for instance. In the story, the little boy has a game console, and when he goes to sell it so he can make money to buy a new toy, he realizes that the game console no longer is worth the money that he purchased it for, or his parents purchased it for. And it's just really teaching these lessons in a fun, story formatted way so that kids aren't bored and don't feel like it's a dictionary book.
Right.
They just learn the lessons without even realizing it's kind of like osmosis, right?
And it's giving them the value of money. I mean, kids will come to you, oh, I want this new PlayStation. I want this new thing. I want it, I want it, I want it. And they have no idea, first of all, the amount of money that's going into it. And like you said, how the value diminishes year after year.
And and some people go, well, Atari and certain games have gone back up in price.
Right.
But how long did you have to wait? And
Yeah.
how many people actually still have an Atari, for instance?
That's
and I'm
true.
showing my age right now, but I'm just like, some of the things that we have, we take for granted, right?
That's
So
so
even
true.
like sneakers, some kids will say Jordans, I'm like, well, how much did it cost to make the sneaker? And did you make a profit off of it? Did you maybe flip it and double it and then use the profit to purchase it?
Yeah.
It's not about telling the kid not to have a lavish sneaker or a product that they like, that they spent a lot of money on. It's really more about rewiring what they invest their money in, when they invest it, and how do they invest it.
Well, another thing that you have done is the trademark of this shirt. Money is not my
Yes.
God, which I love, by the way. I love the shirt.
Thank you.
Yes.
So Money is Not My God came about because when I left the corporate world, a lot of people were like, you're making 6 figures, you're crazy, you're really leaving? And I was just like, yes, because I want to be a hands-on mother. And they were like, you're giving all of that up to be a mom? And I'm like, what kind of response is that? And, you know, some people, they don't find it hard, you know, after 3 months to just go back to work.
Right.
But me, I found it excruciatingly hard.
Yeah, no, it is difficult.
And, you know, I went back for about a month and a half and I missed his first giggle and I was depressed. I was just like, I missed his giggle.
Right.
You know, who knows if that was
They grow
partially
so
the
fast,
mom hormones or what,
Yeah.
but I just knew that it was time for me to do something different. And I would always tell people, money is not my God. That's how I was able to walk away from the money. And it was just always a defining point for me is just that my priority isn't the money first. You know, my family, God,
That's
you know,
right.
that's number one in my life.
Yeah, no, definitely. I have the same goals. God, family, everything else is going to come in order. I love it.
Fully agree.
Yeah, so let's talk about real quick the outreach in Ghana. That is where my family is from. So I'm very excited about that.
So I'm mixed of Cape Verdean, so that's
So
what's
yes.
African love. Yeah, so what happened is two of my partners are Ghanaian. One of them has one travel club, Aaron, shout out to him. And then other one, Kristen, her daughter, Mila, is a celebrity, local Ghanaian celebrity model who's done graces, you know, Ralph Lauren and all these major ad campaigns. And, you know, we wanted to do originally a Youth Fun and Learn Day in Ghana. And then it came to our attention when I was researching, like, you know, fun things to do with my son because he's going to come to Ghana with me.
Yeah.
And I was like, where are the fun activities? Like, where are the children's museums or the fun centers or the playgrounds and amusement parks? And that led us to now wanting to create Ghana's first children's museum or youth center.
I love it.
And we're going to teach the youth things like e-commerce and beyond e-commerce, teach them as well financial literacy classes, language classes, just anything to really help tourism and the locals as well to ensure that there is a fun day for everyone.
I love it.
Yes.
Thank you so much for bringing the book, the shirt, and to showing us, you know,
Thank
what
you.
you have in store for us. We're really excited about it.
Thank you.
And congratulations on being the New York State Mother of the Year.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
deserved.
you. All right. So I'm excited and I hope to see you in Ghana this year. We'll
Right?
have to get you over there.
I want to be there.
All right. Brilliant. Oh, before I forget,
yes.
this is for you. You can
Thank
keep
you.
it.
Thank you so much.
And then
Got my
as
shirt.
well, I just wanted to also say the title character in the book is Cape Verdean and Nigerian, so more West African love.
I love
But throughout
it.
the book, there's other cultures as well. So
And I was saying he looks
this is
just
for
like
you
my
as
son with
well.
all of his hair there leaning forward.
Mine too. My son has like the craziest fro. In fact, when I braid his hair, people go like, "Where's Ozzy's fro?" And I'm like, Azikiwe's fro is tame today, but normally he's just like shakes it and goes.
Yes, let them wear their crown, as we
Right?
said earlier.
Exactly.
For more information on Jatali, her initiatives, and books, visit kidswhobank.com. Don't go anywhere. More open after this.